What if I told you there's a fish so valuable that poachers risk prison just to catch one? A creature that's being systematically erased from our oceans, not for food but for status? Picture this. You're diving in a pristine coral reef in Southeast Asia. The water is clear blue, corals stretch in every direction, and suddenly you see it, a fish almost as big as you are. It has thick lips, a prominent forehead hump, and electric blue and green patterns that seem to glow. This is the Humphead Wrasse, one of the most iconic and endangered residents of the reef. But here's the shocking part. In some parts of Asia, a single adult Humphead Wrasse can sell for over $100,000. That's more than many people's yearly salary. And that price tag has put this gentle giant on a direct path to extinction. So how did a reef fish become one of the most expensive animals in the sea? And why is nobody stopping it? Let's start with the fish itself. The Humphead Wrasse isn't just big, it's essential. It plays a unique role in the coral ecosystem. While most fish nibble on algae or small creatures, the Humphead Wrasse has a special talent. It eats crown-of-thorns starfish, one of the most destructive predators on the reef. A single crown of thorns can wipe out massive sections of coral, and without the wrasse to keep their numbers in check, reefs can collapse. But the Humphead Wrasse is slow to grow, slow to reproduce, and incredibly easy to catch. It's curious by nature, often swimming right up to divers. And that trusting behavior has become its greatest weakness, because in certain cultures, serving a Humphead Wrasse isn't about nutrition, it's about prestige. In high-end restaurants, particularly in Hong Kong and mainland China, displaying a live Humphead Wrasse in a tank is the ultimate symbol of wealth and hospitality. Guests are invited to pick the fish they want cooked. The rarer the fish, the greater the status for the host. And as wild populations shrink, the price soars, creating a vicious cycle where the last remaining individuals become astronomically valuable, but catching them isn't easy or legal. The Humphead Wrasse has been listed under CITES, the international treaty that regulates wildlife trade, since 2004. That means it's illegal to catch or trade them without special permits. So how do they still end up on dinner plates? The answer lies in a shadowy network of poaching, smuggling, and corruption. In places like Indonesia and the Philippines, where the wrasse was once common, illegal fishers use cyanide to stun the fish. They squirt the poison into coral crevices, paralyzing the wrasse so it can be scooped up alive. But cyanide doesn't just catch fish, it kills the coral, destroys the habitat, and wipes out every other creature in the area. It's ecological scorched earth, all for one fish, and the journey doesn't end there. Smugglers transport the live fish in hidden compartments on boats, sometimes in plastic bags with oxygen, crossing borders undetected. They're often mislabeled as grouper or other common species. By the time they reach luxury markets, their origins are untraceable. Enforcement is weak, penalties are low, and the profit is just too high to resist. But the real tragedy is what happens when the Humphead Wrasse disappears from a reef. In places where it's been fished out, crown-of-thorns starfish populations explode. They devour corals, turning vibrant ecosystems into barren graveyards. The loss of the wrasse doesn't just remove one species, it unravels an entire underwater world. There is hope, though, and it starts with awareness. In recent years, conservation groups have begun training local fishers to become reef guardians. They're using underwater drones to monitor protected areas and satellite tracking to follow illegal fishing vessels. Some restaurants have even stopped serving Humphead Wrasse after public pressure. But the black market is resilient. The key to saving this species isn't just stopping the trade, it's changing the culture that drives it. Because as long as eating a Humphead Wrasse is seen as a symbol of success, there will always be someone willing to pay the price. The Humphead Wrasse is more than just a fish, it's a test. A test of whether we value short-term status over long-term survival. A test of whether we can protect something not because it's useful to us, but because it has a right to exist. This isn't just a story about overfishing. It's a story about how value, real and perceived, can either save a species or destroy it. Have you ever seen a Humphead Wrasse in the wild or an aquarium? Share your experience in the comments, and let us know which ocean creature you think needs a conservation spotlight next.